number 14, Nathan Mickey, and number 23, Andrew Hackmeister, had that game winner in overtime.
Into the corner he goes. It was Williams, and getting canceled out there, I believe, was Williams. And back the other way we go, up ahead, but not out of the zone, and played over by the top of the circle. Back goes Giesbrecht, and he plays this around the board. Mishandled there by UNLV, and in the corner, a soft played it up ahead for Williams, and UNLV going to try to break this one out, and they do get it out of the zone, but not very far. Circling D to D. Things that you guys are looking forward to in this matchup.
Well, I'll start here. I'm looking forward to the speed of UNLV versus how can RMU continue their momentum in this game. Can they contain UNLV? A lot of good players on UNLV's team, Cody Williams, and one of the other guys, John Moeller, I like to watch. It'll be an interesting matchup.
A shot out in front. It was blocked by a couple of Rebels, and finally safely out of the zone, but back the other way we go in the form. I believe that was Brass that was on there. Back to center ice, and a 3-on-1 developing for the Colonials. Up in the corner. This one sent up and nicely blocked. And up to the point. From the logo, shot wide of the net. Corralling this puck here is Plonsky. Finally out of the zone, but only to center ice, and this one just dumped back in by Gall. Changes going around as UNLV trying to gain some momentum. Right now in the first 2 minutes, it's just all Colonials.
Yeah, a couple big hits here to start out the game. Both teams kind of trying to establish the body, and kind of a good way to get yourself settled down is on that first shift is just find someone, get a good clean body check, and get yourself into the game.
And we have our first icing, and I think UNLV's arguing that it was touched. They might have a case here. As play stopped in, we got 17:58 left in period one.
Yeah, it looked like DeAndre John was there to get to the puck, but the refs blow it dead with Nolan Raimundo getting there. But so far, like Jonesy said, RMU Penn has definitely done a really good job getting in the shooting lanes. Good job defensively as well. So far, the edge early goes to the Colonials.
Quick start here, maybe a kind of an early start for UNLV. Only 10 o'clock on the Pacific time zone where the Rebels are out of a high stick played by UNLV, and that's where we're going to have the whistle. But right now, as Sam, you mentioned, a quick start for the Colonials.
Yeah, you always just want to get yourself settled in for these big games. Winner's going to go on and take on Ohio. I know UNLV would like another shot at that, but we'll see what the Colonials can come up with being the hot team.
Back in the corner, that's Plonsky who played this, now up ahead as Plonsky's going to try to break this one out. He had kind of got held up by a skate. Now over to Fink. Fink, who, of course, this UNLV team here last year, they won their playing game, and a turnover here forced by Ralston. Was looking for a player out in front of the net. Now finally out and giving chase is going to be DeAndre John. Gets to it, but gets tripped up, and crown the puck here is Raimundo. Now breaking this one up ahead for Millen. And this one just dumped in as the Colonials get a change. UNLV back the other way, and this one is iced with 17 left in the first.
And you got to think, too, first game of the tournament for any teams. It's RMU and UNLV. They're the first team to play here in the ACHA National Tournament. A little bit of nerves early on, trying to feel each other out. Eventually, these games will open up, and we'll see these teams start to play even better. So far, RMU Penn doing a really good job moving the puck. Let's see what UNLV can do to try to change the momentum in their favor.
I guess my question to you, by both of you, would be, I mean, does playing in a conference-type championship before getting here, is this one almost misplayed by the goaltender in Mackey? And he makes a save. Does playing in a conference tournament kind of give you a little bit of an edge coming into something that's especially against an independent team like UNLV?
Yeah, I think with RMU, they've basically been playing playoff games for close to a couple weeks now. So being able to pull off that miraculous comeback as a 6th seed and win their division, they've been fighting for their lives, so they might be a little bit more settled down in this first period than UNLV, who for a lot of these guys, they know their lives on the line as they got sent home last year.
And that's the other thing, Jonesy, like you were saying, it's still a winner-go-home atmosphere that RMU has been in with these conference tournaments. So, again, a little used to this national tournament atmosphere, just a little higher level.
Kick save there is turned around by Giesbrecht and finally out of the zone. This one's going to be iced by UNLV. And so far, it just seems like the forecheck of RMU's putting the pressure, and all of our zone time's kind of been on that UNLV end.
Yeah, great start for the first close to 5 minutes here by RMU. I think they're really starting to get a little bit settled down, and we're seeing a lot more scoring chances created by RMU than UNLV right now.
And the Colonials might be a little bit looser. Not a lot of people expect them to have the big success. UNLV's the favorite in this game, so they're going out there with nothing to lose, just having fun with this game, and they're doing a great job so far.
Now back the other way, and sent out in front and sticked away by Giesbrecht. Glove down by DeFelice, and in the corner, UNLV will pick up this puck. Turnover here, and finally out of the zone. The Rebels have cleared it. This one just sent in and gloved down by Giesbrecht, and he's kind of seen enough here as he just decides not to drop it and freeze the puck.
One of the things I will say RMU has done a good job of is getting in the passing lanes when UNLV is trying to break it out of the zone. They've done a good job cutting off the open men and keeping that puck in the zone. That's a good thing for the Colonials, a hard forecheck that they've been on so far.
Orr wins the puck, now back, and thinking about the shot there was DeFelice. Giesbrecht was all the way out of the net, and we'll see how goalie play kind of goes in. Now leading the charge is Mayer. Mayer with a shot missed the net. All the way back and out of the zone as the Colonials will go the other way. Now Orr centering pass that was a little bit behind the player in Robin. Now back as the Colonials take it center ice, and this one turned over. Up ahead, UNLV, and trickling along the blue line, now back to center ice. UNLV looks like they're just having some trouble getting into the zone, much less trying to maintain some pressure in their offensive zone.
Yeah, and that can always be demoralizing as a centerman or a winger, and even as a defender, is when you're not getting pucks out of your zone, your goalie's seen a shot chance here. But yeah, it just weighs you down when you can't get that puck out of your zone.
Well, you're just getting the early look at this board play is kind of, we're having some awkward caroms due to these boards early. This one will go all the way, no icing here, as on the chase there was Johnson. Finally up by the blue line and corralled by Moeller. Moeller with speed. Tries to walk around a weird angle shot. And nice save there by the goaltender and Mackey. Finally back all the way out and getting to the puck there is going to be Tommy Harrison. Up here near side, Hetzel. Hetzel just send this one in. Make Mackey play and goes around the boards. Taking the puck by Zatola. Near side for Mickey. Mickey again with the puck. Sidestepping into his defender there was Zatola. Was looking for a man out in front of the net. No one was there for the Colonials. Now with the puck, Krupski. Krupski walked in and just going around the boards to get to the puck there is Moeller. Moeller still with the puck. Up and not out of the zone as good active play there by the defenseman. But now UNLV with the puck. Up at center ice and getting stepped into was Woodward. Woodward finally gets rubbed off, and all of a sudden going down was the player Colonial and Mickey. Fire wagon changes for both teams, and now up ahead go the Colonial. Always good stick there as UNLV trying to just generate some time in their own zone, much less get some offensive pressure. Skied up, and a D-to-D pass. Up ahead, played back, kind of. Both teams kind of playing around the center of the rink right now.
Some nonstop action, too. We haven't had a whistle in a while. Both these teams getting a feeling out for this first period. I think UNLV starting to get something generated. Here's a chance for them right now.
Good opportunity there. It was snuffed out by the Colonial defense. Trying to get this one in deep was Fink. It didn't happen. Trying to carry this off the glass and out of the zone, but failing at that were a couple Colonial players. Now this one back. Fink getting beat off there as going back and getting to the puck is Plonsky. Plonsky will angle this one off the glass. Almost seems like those glass and boards are a little bit dead right now.
Yeah, taking some funny bounces. I know just a couple days ago they had the basketball arena installed here, so maybe still need to get settled with some ACHA play here.
Of course, this is the practice facility for the Dallas Stars. Dallas hosting us, and this one just dumped all the way in and getting to the puck here over by the near side boards. Was looking for a teammate, hopefully off on the change, was Lawson. Now back in. D to D pass. Up and out of the zone, but that's as far as the Colonials get. Is now back with the puck are the Rebels. It was one Rebel and Victor Brask as he gets ran into the boards. Up and down, and no trip there. A couple of Colonials asking for a call, maybe warranted one, but of course postseason hockey, I think the refs usually want to see players play one out. And a shot that got hit into a Colonial player in front. The other way we go is Gall. And Gall with a good interception there before the puck was whacked away at. Out in front, a wraparound shot here, and I think we're going to have a penalty, the first one of the game. And it looks like it's going to be Nicholas Gall, the guilty party. Going to be a trip, and that'll bring up the first power play with 11:04 in period number 1. Shots currently 2-1 in favor of, 2-2. They're all tied up, but here comes the first penalty of the game. UNLV on the power play.
Watch for this UNLV power play. They've been highly effective out there this year, and as they restart here, you got your leading goal scorers both out on the ice for the Rebels.
And Plonsky now back for Soff. Going far side. Back for a Soff. From the logo, shot here, waffle boarded away. Now corralled by Williams. Williams from the far side hash marks. Now down low, walked out in front. A couple of saves there, was whacked out in front. Now Williams corrals it in the corner. Kind of steps out and goes back to the point for a Soff. The Soff comes near side for Plonsky. Plonsky was looking for the blade of Kazupski. Williams, nice backhand to Soff. Now near side for Plonsky, looking for that far side post and couldn't find it.
That's a little better possession there from UNLV, obviously on the power play, moving the puck really well, getting some chances on the net, still unable to find the back, and it's still a 0-0 hockey game here early.
Now with speed, it was Paxton Malone, one of the players that, Jonesy, you were looking to keep your eye on. Back to the point here now, near side for Woodward. Woodward walked in, floats this one cross ice. Now here near side for Williams and for Woodward. Far side there, up to the logo, now back for Woodward. Woodward thought about a shot, went cross ice, found a couple of Colonial sticks, and this one kind of now just sent back and diving, sprawling out for it. Now back near side for Woodward. Woodward shot and laid out in front. Finally just cleared all the way as the puck was just outside of the crease, and another good possession for the Rebels.
Great save there by Mackey. Almost beat him underneath the blocker there, but was able to close that shoulder down and keep it a scoreless game.
17 seconds left on this power play for the Rebels. Is kind of blowing his tire there. It was John. And this will probably about do it as there's 5 seconds left. 3, 2, and 1 as the Rebels are back in their offensive zone. Putting on the brinks there is Fink as he was looking for a Rebel out in front. There's no one there. Back there the other way we go in Roebuck. And rubbed it in the board, canceled out by a couple of UNLV players as scrum ensues over by the end boards. Still battling around there, near side corner. Now for Fink. And up ahead for his teammate there. This one just iced down, and it will go for icing. 8:33 here in period number 1. So far, probably the best possession we saw from the Rebels on that last power play.
Yeah, good possession for UNLV. They did a really good job moving the puck, but give a lot of credit to the Colonials. That's a huge penalty kill early in the game. After the great start they had, if they would have given up a goal, the momentum shifts to the Rebels, but a huge kill for the Colonials to start this game.
Face-off wood here, and a goal from the Colonials.
And guess who it happens to be? It's Andrew Hackmeister, who was the one who scored the game-winning goal against Slippery Rock in the conference championship game. He gets the first goal of the ACHA National Tournament. And again, the team's third leading scorer, 18th goal of the year for number 23 for RMU.
Yeah, a little bit of a redirect there out in front, and the Colonials strike first.
We'll get the first goal here from our PA announcer and Andy Stores, the particulars of it, just shortly. But one of the things here is we've seen a shot that went high of the crossbar. But one of the things that RMU, like their coaches talked about, they just want pucks on the net. Doesn't matter how they score a goal, they just want one. Now back up to the point as the Rebels are looking for an equalized goal. Hetzel just sends it down low. And now back. The Colonials goal corralled in here by UNLV.
Hackmeister, assisted by number 27, Dylan Joyce at 11:32. Robert Morris goal scored by Hackmeister, assisted by Joyce at 11:32.
So there you go. The goal is Hackmeister on the goal, and kind of carrying over from the conference tournament, as Sam, you mentioned.
Back-to-back games with a goal for Hackmeister, a big goal from the defenseman. Again, 18 goals for a defenseman, third on the team in points with 36 coming into this game. So definitely a leader from the back end, a very talented offensive defenseman for the Colonials.
Now Roebuck with the puck, and he was just got this off to Krupski. Krupski will go all the way around. It didn't get to his teammate there in Johnson. But now the Rebels walking in here with a shot and a save by Mackey. With 7:16 left.
Yeah, great possession there by the Rebels. You know, even though they're down a goal, they're not going away anytime quickly. This team's got a lot of fight, and expect them to kind of take that one personally and fight back into this game with another offensive zone face-off.
Face-off win by the Colonials. Goes D to D, and in the corner, out up ahead, trying to find the stick of. Well, Woodward was trying to keep it knocked down, and the Colonials device the puck. So 7:07 left in period number one. The opening frame has the Colonials up 1-0. Kind of makes sense, though. I mean, with a 5-on-5 play we've seen from Robert Morris so far, that kind of get rewarded for the pressure that they've at least put on for the first 13 minutes of this game.
And they've done good in all three zones, offensive zone, neutral zone, and defensive zone against UNLV. UNLV, a very quick team like Jonesy was saying, and they've done a really good job containing their speed and also getting that first goal of the game, which is huge in the national tournament.
Zatola having some troubles there as he was being watched by Woodward. And the Colonials now in the zone here, having some stick trouble and just sending this out to the slot area where the Colonials now back the other way. And finding the stick there of Moeller. Moeller with a shot, but nicely squeezing the post is the goaltender Mackey, and he puts a stop on it. As we'll have our first media timeout, and we'll take a break here. You're watching game number one on the ACHA Championship Network.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Aries Sportswear, official merchandise partner of the ACHA. Howie's Hockey Tape, the official tape provider of the ACHA, and the City of Frisco. The 2000
And welcome back to Frisco, Texas. Robert Morris University finding themselves up ahead by a goal after the first 14 and a half minutes. Boz Echeverria on the broadcast, Sam Fleming, Ryan Jones. Glad you could join us on a very gorgeous spring afternoon here in Texas.
Yeah, some early morning hockey here, and just watching this game. Great speed from both teams, but Robert Morris just doing a suffocating job on defense, and big shot there. That's what probably their best scoring chance, some words being exchanged on the other side. Yeah, loved what we've seen from RMU so far.
You got to give credit to Kevin Mackey in net for RMU. He's done a great job making some key saves on some big shots from UNLV. I know the shots are a little bit lopsided, 8-3 in favor of the Rebels, but Mackey stopping all 8. He's played stellar in net so far.
Now back to the point here near side for Hetzel. Hetzel will go around the boards looking for the blade of Kazupski. Now Williams tried to feed this one out in front of the net. Corralled in and shot up and over and into the netting, and play will be halted. .608 here left. Day number 1, game number 1. Glad you could join us on the ACHA network for the 2019 ACHA National Championships, I should probably say. We're not quite at the championship game yet. That comes Tuesday from this very site. Face off one, well, there's one back to the Rebels, but hustling there is Mickey. Shot for the Rebels goes right over Giesbrecht and all the way around. Picking this one up and over, was looking knocked down there by Lawson. Turned over here and feeding this one up, putting the brakes on. Back out the middle, still out in front. A shot coming all the way out with a big save there is Mackey. A soft now down low. Lawson with it. He gets canceled out. And now backing out of the zone as this one may trickle in front of the net. Giesbrecht will just lay it for his teammate there. I believe that was a soft. Now shot. That was turned away. Mickey shot that from the point. There was a Colonial who was cruising his way in front of the net. That, deflection there might have scored a goal.
Yeah, look at this Robert Morris defense, just hounding the Rebels and not allowing them to break out of the zone. It's crazy to watch. He blows a tire there.
Kind of suffocating, you might even say.
Yeah.
Now here Robert Morris now with it. Good check there by Sauer. Sauer shoots his and gloved down by Giesbrecht. So far, the shot total is 9-4 in favor of UNLV, but it almost feels like it's just been really Robert Morris the whole time.
Yeah, and Robert Morris has done a really good job, like Jonesy was saying, in the offensive zone on the forecheck. But go back to that save by Mackey right out in front on Rhea, who had a golden opportunity to tie this game. Mackey might be looked back as the player of the game if he continues to make some big saves like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Conference champions. It's a tough gig to win a conference. And of course, there might be some pundits who feel that conference champions, depending on rankings, they feel like they shouldn't be here. But look, you win your conference, why shouldn't you be here?
Yeah, I love the fact that you got a playing game because it just creates for great storylines like this. You got a 8-7 overtime win as a 6 seed to send you in. You can't write a Hollywood script better than that.
Not quite David versus Goliath right now, but maybe a younger Goliath. As this one's sent all the way back out as Robert Morris will go D here. Hackmeister, who scored the goal, gets this one all the way in deep as Giesbrecht just tries to slow it down for his teammates. Plonsky left it for Fink, and Fink decided to reverse his track, and this one just angled off the boards right in front of the UNLV bench. And UNLV just are having all kinds of trouble here in period 1.
They just need to settle down and play the game that they're used to. Again, we've seen UNLV as a team that can get the momentum early, but so far they've been dominated by RMU, even though they had the lead in shots. Just keep the game simple. Don't try to do too much.
And the Rebels offside here. Not only they're having trouble, they're not even – they can't maintain offensive time just because they can't even get the puck in.
I've noticed they're struggling to make the short passes as well. They need to try to connect on some of those tape-to-tape passes. And once they get that going, UNLV, one of the best teams when they can move the puck in the ACHA.
Well, to move the puck, you got to have the puck. And right now, Robert Morris kind of maintaining a lot of puck possession here as now they have it right in front of the UNLV bench. That's a great job there, Hackmeister pinning his man against the board. A couple of Colonials, a pair of Rebels, and this one back out for the D-man in Hetzel. Hetzel now here near side for Harrison. Harrison up ahead. He was canceled out, but did get the puck on frame as just covering this one up is Mackey. And sure, Mackey's saying, hey, this is pretty good right now.
He's doing a great job. He had that excellent kick save. And if I'm UNLV, I think right about now is the time we want to establish the body, really get the puck deep in those corners, because clearly the stretch passes and even the short ones aren't necessarily coming out of the zone for him. So get pucks deep, go dump and chase, and get a goal.
And they score. And it looks like it's going to be Joe Kazupski who will get credit for that goal.
That's a big goal for UNLV. They hadn't had much going at all until that opportunity out in front. Kazupski tucks one home. That's a big goal for the Rebels. For Kazupski, he gets goal number 12 on the season, and the Rebels tie it up at 1 with 2:57 to go in the first.
More importantly, the first one in the tournament, that's the one that does matter. All the stats you end up getting in the regular season, might as well kind of just throw it out. And this one just deep here as Mackey with the puck. Now back out to the front, went off a Colonial player. He kind of lost it. That was Mumau, excuse me, who blocked the shot. Now back to the top here, and Mackey makes a save off of his stick out and was looking for Williams. This one finally cleared out of the zone. Now it's kind of trying to win that race is Nicholas Mumau.
Number 22, Tristan Mayer at 17:03. UNLV goal scored by Kazupski. Assisted by Mayer at 17:03.
There we go, and Mayer will get his first point of the tournament, and we're going to have an interference call. Probably could call multiple fouls on that.
Yeah, we'll see what Williams is going to go for. It's number 13, Eric Williams of UNLV, with a huge hit right there.
Good.
We'll get the call from
13, Vegas, 2 minutes rough. Did you hear it or no? You couldn't fucking hear us.
No, you couldn't hear anything.
That's gay.
Apologize for the ref's language there.
No, apologize for that. But we did hear you. That was live. And it's going to be Robert Morris who's on.
UNLV penalty called to number 13, Eric Williams. 2 minutes for roughing at 17:53. UNLV penalty, Eric Williams, 2 minutes for roughing at 17:53.
So there's the penalty call here. Now out fanning on the shot was Lotta, and hang on here.
Some words being exchanged there. Giesbrecht was not happy with some of these guys in front of his net. He was poking and prodding at him to get out of there. It looks like Mackey was giving him fits. So he's still jawing off to the refs now. Feeling unfair.
Well, kind of needless to say, if you're an LV, this is kind of a big penalty kill going into the end of the period. I know you did get an equalizing goal, but for the most part, it's been RMU for better part of period number 1. Now here near side, Lotta. Now up to the top for Gilarowski. Lotta. Down low and trying to get to the puck there is Joyce. Joyce gets canceled out, and it's going to be John who will ice this puck all the way down with the last 60 seconds of this power play.
He'll look to set up the breakout here, getting chased down by Williams, or excuse me, that's Kazupski.
1 minute left in the period here. Is now trying to evade his man there is Tanner Orr. Kind of good job by UNLV sticking up at the blue line. Good pressure there from Kazupski. And now blowing a tire was an RMU player. Now Kazupski, shot from the point and out in front there, trying to angle this one in, was Cody Williams. Good shorthanded opportunity in the last 28 seconds of this first period.
And a goal along with a good shorthanded forecheck like that, that can be a little bit of a confidence builder for UNLV after the slow start.
We're also trying to stick evaded defender, and Giesbrecht will just put the squeeze on this one with 17-1 left in period number 1.
Yeah, great first period from both teams, getting a goal for both sides. It has been RMU's period, but UNLV with a good answer, and you got to feel really good about going into the first intermission level if they can keep this power play off the board for the next 10 seconds.
Of course, 17 left in period number 110 on the power play. You might see. Or the centerman for Colonials wins this one back to his one mate there. Now Krupski. Krupski shoots out in front here, and the net is off its moorings, but not before save from Geisbrecht, where if he didn't get across, it might be 2-1 in favor of the Colonials.
Big pad save from Ben Geisbrecht right out in front. A point-blank opportunity for the Colonials running down here in the first period, but that's a huge save from number 29 between the pipes.
Great face-off win, too, that sets up that quick shot. We'll see that maybe run that play again here.
2 and 1 on the power play to the point as we go 5-on-5 for the last 4 seconds. Battle at behind the net of Geisbrecht. And that's how this period will end with a 1-1 tie. Great way to open up this tournament, though. We get goals from both teams, some physical play out of UNLV, and a really heavy forecheck from the Colonials out of RMU. Jonesy, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, back and forth game from both sides, getting a goal. So you're happy with the way you ended the period with UNLV, getting a goal and also killing off that penalty. But it's really anyone's game right now. Both teams are playing fantastic, and what a treat to open up the weekend with a period like that.
Absolutely. What a great game. Again, UNLV didn't have the start they wanted to. It's been all RMU pin. The Colonials have done a really good job on the forecheck as well. They got the first goal of the game. Not a lot of people expecting them to have the start that they did. But UNLV getting that late goal and that key penalty kill they just had, that gives them a little energy heading into this second period.
After the first 20 minutes, the game it's tied after goals from both teams. We'll take a short break. We'll see you back here for period number 2 on the ACHA Tournament Network.
You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate. Skate. Pass it. You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck. Come on.
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be?
Hello? Hi.
Surely that can't be practical.
She loves to see you.
But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest.
Hi!
Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways, and in grand ones.
Dad.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
Rebels take chances and inspire action. Rebels are daring and diverse, curious and creative. Rebels are different, and in our differences, we come together to discover, to innovate, to succeed in a community like no other. We are UNLV. We are Rebels, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Hockey heads are special, which is why we protect them with a helmet designed, built, and tested to endure real-world hockey impacts.
know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. Here you go. Skate. Skate. Pass it. You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck. Come on.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like even more than birthday cake.
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be?
Hello? Hi.
Surely that can't be practical.
She loves to see you.
But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest.
Hi!
Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth
She's okay.
might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways, and in grand ones.
Dad.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
And welcome back to Frisco, Texas. Just getting started with period number 2. Boz Echevarria alongside Sam Fleming and the former Ute and Ryan Jones. And we welcome you out here in a great spring day here in Texas. And at the end of period 1, we see a tie game, both one goal apiece. Shot count in favor of UNLV, but kind of the vibe that we got here, Robert Morris got out to a quick start, at least pressure-wise, and they ended up putting up a first goal.
And I think Robert Morris came out playing a little bit looser than UNLV. They don't have as much they didn't have as many expectations coming into this game, but they had their conference championship. They won the last 4 in a row, and they got the first goal of the game. By the way, the guy who was the hero in that game for him, number 23, Andrew Hackmeister. But then you looked at UNLV. They kind of settled down a little bit, got the puck moving, and Joe Kazupski finally tied the game. But even after that goal, I still feel like RMU had the better end of the period than the Rebels did.
Yeah, Sam, just to go off what you're saying, a little expected, a little unexpected. RMU coming in as the underdogs, but with a little bit more looseness in their game. And, you know, when you're UNLV, you're coming out, you know that these could be your final games. You just kind of grip the stick tight. And it takes you a little bit of a while to warm up. But overall, I mean, just total domination on the defensive side from RMU throughout a lot of that first half of the period. And, you know, really keeping UNLV from getting into great scoring lanes and scoring chances. So we'll see if it's a little bit more of the same in the second period, or if maybe the coach got through to the Rebels and they're going to start flying around the ice here.
Do you think there's a little bit more pressure on UNLV, especially since they've been here before? They did advance to that first round after the play-in round, and they've been in the tournament. They kind of know how this works.
Yeah, and I'm sure everybody on that RMU bench wants to win a national championship, of course, just like every player here does. But to be fair, they know that they have an uphill battle, whereas UNLV, who's kind of been in that top tier of ACHA D1 teams this year, I definitely think they want to kind of make a name for themselves and just establish themselves as a program with a deep, deep run in this tournament.
Well, and you look at UNLV, they're looking to get a rematch with Ohio after last year. That's who the winner would play in this game, and I know they would like to get their chance at redemption against the Bobcats, and maybe they were a little focused ahead on that potentially, and that's what gave RMU a strong start.
And a glove save here by Giesbrecht, but maybe what a lot in our world would probably call this a trap game from UNLV's perspective.
Yeah, a trap game in the first game of the national tournament against the team that just made it in at the last minute, the number 20 seed. But RMU is playing like one of the top 10 seeds right now with how good they're moving the puck and shooting the puck, and also playing really strong in the defensive zone. They're playing an all-around good game, are the Colonials.
UNLV, of course, the second-year program out of South Nevada. And as play goes here near side, it's going to be Ralston. Ralston was looking for his teammate Nor, had this one knifed off of his blade. Now this one just sent in the direction of Giesbrecht. He'll trap it and just leave it for Asaf, who was looking for his mate there in Woodward. Back the other way we go, up ahead, and was looking for Paxton Malone. Now cross-ice pass. Now for Malone in front. He kind of fanned on that shot off the heel of his stick. Back out front, and they score!
And it's the guy I said to watch from UNLV. It's John Muller picking up his 9th goal of the year, and the Rebels, despite the good start from the Colonials, they get the first goal of the second period, and Muller gives them a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, just a fantastic job in the offensive zone there, creating some chances, and just a wide open shot. All you got to do is bury at that point. You got to feel great about that goal. Coming in early, too. We're not even full 60 seconds off the clock.
People might say, UNLV got their morning coffee in after that that first period. Back the other way we go, as we'll get the particulars on the goal from our PA announcer and Andy Storrs. This one now just floated out of the UNLV zone, and we'll have another penalty here.
Does Cameron think the UNLV player's slow to get up? Let's see what the call is.
2 minutes for boarding.
And there we go, 2 minutes for boarding. The call will put UNLV up on the power play right after they scored a goal.
Yeah, right after you get a goal that takes the lead, and then a power play opportunity to try to extend that lead. Now, UNLV did have a solid first power play, even though they didn't get a goal. Let's see what the Rebels can do here on their second opportunity.
We'll have to break this one back into the zone here. It's now corralling the puck. And it was Basil Asaf. Now just into the zone goes Williams, as trying to corral it there is Hackmeister. Far side hash marks, and this one just sent out of the zone, is now coming out of his net to play this is Giesbrecht.
Yeah, it's tough to take a penalty in that situation right after you give up a goal and give UNLV another chance to extend that lead.
Now near side, looking for Plonsky, who was in front of the net. Now Plonsky into the near side corner. Turns away, was looking for his teammate there in DeAndre John. Now finally out of the zone, and up ahead here go the Rebels. Breakaway opportunity, and they score! And just like that, this game is tied. It's David Roebuck.
And how about a short-handed goal from RMU to tie the game? And Jonesy, you said giving up a penalty is tough in that situation when you just gave up a goal. Well, RMU makes up for it with a nice short-handed breakaway goal.
Yeah, What a finish. What a breakout pass to find his man. And then when you have that much time to go in on a really good goaltender, to be able to bury in a huge situation, get RMU back in this game, and the boys are fired up in the blue, red, and white.
Now with speed coming through Malone. Malone still with a puck. Trying to get that lead back for UNLV. This one just shot and saved by Kevin Mackey.
David Roebuck. Assisted by number 24, Nicholas Mumau at 1:59. Robert Morris shorthanded goal scored by Roebuck. Assisted by Mumau at 1:59.
Now back to the point. UNLV looking to get back ahead. They're still on the power play despite all the scoring that we've seen early in period number 2. Now with the puck is Williams. Williams to Fink. Was looking for a man there in the high slot. Now back to Fink. Up to the top for Williams. On front, took a couple deflections and saved by Mackey. 36 seconds left on the penalty.
We've seen a great goaltending matchup between these two teams. RMU with Mackey and UNLV with Giesbrecht. Both have made some key saves. Of course, Giesbrecht hasn't had as many shots as Mackey, but both have made crucial saves and crucial opportunities.
Well, back to the top here and finally out of the zone. Played here for Williams. Now near side for Williams. He's going to get this one in the zone and try to evade a couple of Colonials. Rubbed it in the end boards, and this one goes all the way around, but still taken at the half side, or the half boards. Now finally back out, and Robert Morris looking at the last 10 of their own penalty kill, putting the squeeze on is Ben Giesbrecht. So 8 seconds left on the power play for UNLV, but they'll have to win the faceoff and get a quick rush.
That's a good response from RMU to get the shorthanded goal and also kill off that, possibly kill off that penalty.
And now far side hash mark says 2-1. The penalty has expired, which saw a goal, but not for the Rebels, as it was a tying goal from RMU Penn. Now inside boards, guided up ahead for Toriumi. Toriumi still with the puck over by the Dallas Stars logo, who's hosting this ACHA National Tournament. Thank you for joining us on the ACHA Network. Up along the far side, and I'm not sure what happened there. If the Colonial player was thinking he had help up at the point, he kind of just let that puck go.
Yeah, it's a tough turnover when you're trying to get pucks deep in a tight game like this.
Now we'll go for the boards up for UNLV. And getting rubbed off and canceled out was Victor Brask. He did get this one in. And Brask now back, hustling back to his position. Just gloved it down, kept it in the UNLV zone. Cross ice pass, and retreating go the Rebels. Now a soft shot there from the far side hash mark. Turned away by Mackey. Good stick check there, but finally, after dealing with the harassments and just getting this one deep, was Dylan Joyce. Back out to the point, and fired up, hitting a couple of players out in front, not getting in the net, was a shot. Braskell didn't get enough stick on it, now sent out and cleared away by the defender and Krupski. Looks like losing his stick there as well was Safalos. And back go the Colonials. Tanner Orr leading the charge. Tanner Orr still with a puck. Laid it out in front of the net. Was looking for his teammate there in Millen, but couldn't find him as he was well guarded by a Rebel. Tipped in as the Rebels will get a change, at least their defensive pair. Stick at the back of the net. And the shot wide might have been deflected. Plonsky lets this one go. Out to the corner. Backhanded pass. Had a player out in front there. I believe that was Williams who was the intended target. Behind the net, out of the corner. Was looking for Williams again, and now back go the Colonials. Cameron Fink was watching a couple of Colonial players. Now Kazupski Kazupski feigned on his shot. Back behind the boards in the corner right in front of the Zamboni doors. And trailing stick and maybe thinking about a solution. Plonsky now for Fink. Fink had a open man, but good defense there from RMU. And puck just hopped off the stick of Kazupski.
It's a great shift by this UNLV forward line right now, just getting in deep, working the corners, and getting some good opportunities here.
Fink from the top of the circle had that shot slightly blocked. And into the corner goes Mayer. Mayer with the puck up to Fink. Fink back down to Mayer. Mayer out was looking for a teammate out in front, trying to deflect that one in. I believe that was that Kazupski? Yeah, now Kazupski with the puck. Backhand attempt, they score!
Well, and who else again? It's number 8, Joe Kazupski, his second goal of the game for the Rebels, a wraparound opportunity through the 5-hole, and UNLV back up 3-2. But to add to what Jonesy was saying, Boz, it looks like UNLV's finally getting possession of the puck, and they're moving it really well. A dominant offensive zone shift leads to a goal for UNLV.
And the RMU bench right now trying to get an explanation to why David Roebuck's stick was moved out of the way by a UNLV player in the slot there. They're pretty upset because I think that play kind of having an extra defender to help out. And we're having a chat with the refs about it. But it will be all for naught as the Rebels take the 3-2 lead.
The goal stands. And to your point, I mean, there's a lot of time in that offensive zone for UNLV. And, I mean, fatigue, especially on the long change, had to play at least some part in this.
8, Joe Kazupski. Unassisted at 6:28. UNLV goal, his second of the game, scored by Kazupski. Unassisted at 6:28.
Now back at front was looking for a Rebel, and it was a Colonial defender who kind of deflected it away. Giesbrecht has to handle. Now shot wide of the net, was looking for that near side post. The shot came in from Joyce. Now up ahead into the center zone, into the offensive zone for the Rebels. Skating right by it were a couple of players. That was Tommy Harrison. Now Woodward. He'll just skate this one through the neutral ice. Up around and now into it was Eric Williams. Good blade there by Zatlotto. Get this one up and out and just gloved down by the Colonials. A 2-on-1, but that opportunity will fade. This one just out in front, and Giesbrecht having some trouble corralling that puck in. Trying to keep this one in was Raymundo. He couldn't do it, and now back being harassed there by the Rebels is number 26 in Galarowski. Finally out of the zone and was looking for Parks. He couldn't find it. This is going to go all the way down, but icing waved off as the soft goes around. Tries to get this one out of the zone. It was stopped by Colonial. Now turned over, fired in, and standing tall was Giesbrecht on a shot that was sticked away.
Yeah, tough to turn it over there in your slot, but thankfully Rebels with enough support to make sure that shot was not from a really high productive zone.
Or fire this one. It was gloved down by Giesbrecht, and he just left it where a soft will now skate this one through. A soft plays this into the corner as he peels off for a change. At the end board, a shot that just goes wide and all the way and out of the zone. Kind of a tale of two periods. We've seen all RMU in period one, and so far through the first 9 minutes of period two, it's been all UNLV aside for that one shorthanded goal.
Well, something I was going to say, Boz, is I've noticed a couple times that after the goal, the team that gave up the goal has had a little bit of an energy shift as well. RMU got the shorthanded goal, then UNLV responded, but it looks like UNLV has settled in a little bit after getting that third goal. Maybe they can be the first team to lead this game by more than one goal.
Fun first game here is now Fink with the puck. Will start out from behind his own net and finally get out of his own zone. Now here near side for Kazupski. He got the last goal on an attempt, was looking for the stick and found it to Fink, but Fink couldn't get it on target. And a shot laid out in front and finally gloving it down through all this traffic was Mackey.
And this is the UNLV team that we expected coming into this game. Sure, RMU riding a little bit of that hot streak as we talked about at the top of the broadcast with a 4-game win streak. But UNLV, one of the best teams in the ACHA, that one of the newer programs, and they have a lot of speed and talent. And Joe Kazupski has stepped up big, number 8 for this team, 2 goals in this game. And UNLV looks like they've settled in finally in this second period.
Kazupski does win this back for Fink. A shot from the top of the circle, and having this bounce out was the goaltender in Mackey.
Yeah, and those face-off wins in the offensive zone are so important if you allow yourselves to set up and get a good shot right off the point with some bodies in front. Those always are tough for a goalie.
Fink just sends this one back in. Maybe playing some mind games with the goalie there. Hey, there's a puck. I'll just there's another one.
Yeah.
Shots in favor of UNLV 23-13 so far.
Let's go 3 for 3.
Well, and to think we started this game almost 10 minutes in, the shots were only 2-2 for both teams. And now UNLV is getting a little bit more of an advantage and getting the puck on net finally. RMU's had some good chances as well.
Plonsky a shot known out in front and another save from Mackey, who's had to make 3 saves all from outside of the circle.
Hey, his save percentage goes up. He needs him.
I'm sure right now he'd rather be on the team that has more goals.
And
950. Yeah, more shots.
Yeah.
950.
You would think. You would think.
Kazupski's line is going to stay on the ice, and why not? So far they've had a pretty solid shift. 3 shots on goal in less than a minute. The puck hasn't really left their zone. One here, it lost in the feet of Williams, and now finally get this one out.
Great play.
Yeah, blowing the tire. Now here go the Colonials. Or with a shot and a glove save from Giesbrecht, flashing off the leather, and a couple of friendly words. We are in Dallas. Kind of a nice area here in Frisco.
Giesbrecht with that windmill save. You know that one's going on the highlight reel. You just love to see that.
Might see that on ACHA tonight. And of course, you can watch that on ACHAtonight.org at 11:30 Central Time. Oh, puck banked off of Giesbrecht. And it didn't even look like Giesbrecht kind of expected that puck there. Now up ahead goes Joyce. Joyce in the corner, and a good check there from Hetzel, who took out Joyce and one of the officials. Well, I guess not a good check because he took out an official. We kind of need them.
Can't have a man go down on the crew.
No, we do thank the officials. We thank the staff here in Frisco for getting this tournament ready to go. Been hard at work for almost a week as Giesbrecht sticks this away on. Blows it off the glass with 9:06 in the middle frame.
And I think Ben Giesbrecht was the lead goaltender last year for UNLV in the national tournament as a freshman, and how well he played in that tournament. You called that Ohio game, Balls, that went to overtime, and Giesbrecht stood on his head against Jimmy Thomas, who is in net for Ohio, still there. So we could see, if UNLV continues to hold this result, a rematch between Giesbrecht and Jimmy Thomas in net, which was a phenomenal goaltending battle.
Well, a face-off win here from RMU, but it was turned over, and now Orr's out in front, and he was there as Giesbrecht denies another opportunity. Orr gets rubbed into the boards. A shot there from Ralston. Now out of the UNLV zone and just chipped up ahead. Now giving chase there is going to be Victor Brask. Not like UNLV wants a penalty.
I don't know if they wanted the penalty or if they were just hyped up for the good hit.
Oh, skied up in front and trying to find that was Mackey. But to the point, kind of Giesbrecht plays like another number 29 goalie that plays out in Vegas, huh? Maybe?
The Flower.
The Flower. And a shoulder save there, just like fighting that one off was Giesbrecht. Finally out of the zone there, it was through the wickets as the feed from Victor Brask. This one now just sent back the other way with speed, and this took kind of a weird carom as with the puck goes Mumau. Mumau stick handles, was looking for a player who was camped out in the slot. He had 2 players there, and Giesbrecht denying everything. The puck is under Giesbrecht. It's still not in. Finally behind the net and just sent all the way around and giving chase airs Krupski. How that puck didn't go in, I'm still baffled by. I think physics probably would have showed you that should have gone in. Finkel get this one, but not before icing's called, and with 7:40 left, and we could have had seen our third tie of the game here.
Yeah, RMU with a good job of just getting bodies to the net, and that's what you want to see when the puck gets into that area. Anything can happen. You can take a funny bounce and tie this game up.
And Ben Giesbrecht hadn't seen a lot in this period until that shift down there, and what an incredible save. And I think they may be getting ready to take a look at this as the referees are heading to the box.
That's probably what we're looking at here. And we might be I think we're talking about this right now. So they do have a monitor down there in the officials area, and that's where both of our officials are at. I think that's one of the things. And I guess we'll talk about the rules of instant replay only available here at the National Championship. Of course, the key word is that we have to have indisputable video evidence to overturn the call, and that's kind of what we're looking at right now. So as you take a look at the teams, but this is kind of an important decision, as all goals are, but this one a little bit more for Robert Morris, Pennsylvania, because this is a game-tying goal if it gets overturned.
Yes, especially at a pivotal time, with only 7:40 left in the second. The further along that you go in this game, the harder and harder it's going to be to get a goal. So this is a huge, huge replay for Robert Morris.
And I think the longer that this replay goes, I think the chances of it being overturned goes higher, just because if this goal does get overturned, we actually have to go back to the point of where the goal was scored, figure out the time, and reset the timing to where that goal would have been scored, and we start from that point. Of course, the puck was ice, so we might be back at 8 minutes with a tie game.
Yep.
Yeah, and for RMU, if they tie this game and they get a little more time, they've got an opportunity to possibly take the lead if they get the goal overturned the other way. But this is the first review of the tournament in the very first game. And to our right is the review replay box. And that'd be interesting to see. It was a very tight angle to see. Giesbrecht was almost backed into the net. So like Jonesy was saying, a very key decision here in U2 Boz. This is an opportunity possibly for RMU to retie this game.
Well, I think the key here to kind of consider is that Eric Kronischuk, who was the referee on that side, he skated super hard to his near side post to make sure that puck was there. I think that's one of the things that we do have to consider, that he was the calling official. Of course, we have that camera high on that goal end, so it does offer us a view. But the key factor here is that our referee, Kronischuk, was right there to see the call. So if anyone's here and has the best view at it, our man Eric has that.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Boz. He was right on top of the play, which is why I was, surprised that they didn't blow it dead earlier. And then once the scrum kind of cleared up, you actually saw the stripes in there. So, he had a great look at it, but they're taking a decent view down in the box there. So this would be interesting to see what they end up deciding.
As we have a look at it here, and I don't see anything. You see Kronischuk, he's right on top of the play and like very in the middle of that scrum.
I think we got a no goal here.
We got one no goal. I might go with that as well. And the officials are coming out, so we'll get the official ruling. And Kronischuk also signaling no goal. So good good job by our official, just being right there to make the call officially on the ice. And then also on the video review, the number one thing I think any official is they just want to get it right. It doesn't matter how long it takes. And of course, the way technology is right now, we have video assistant referees to help with a lot of these calls.
Yeah, and a great job by the officials. Like you said, they did a good job taking a long look at that to make sure they didn't make the wrong call. But that's good for the ACHA to see something like that.
And Plonsky kind of lost it as going back and crown as DeAndre John. He's being watched there in the form of Trevor Johnson, and left this behind his own net. And, ooh, kind of an awkward fall there. I think he just blew his edge. It was Mumau. Now with speed, Rhea shoots this on Mackey, and he charged the net and takes a spill for his endeavors, as we will have our first timeout of period number 2. 7:15, UNLV up 3-2.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Barron Championship Rings, proud sponsor and championship ring provider for the ACHA. Warrior Sports, the preferred stick supplier of the ACHA. The Dallas Stars. For tickets and more information, visit dallasstars.com. And Southwest Airlines, the official event airline partner of the 2019 ACHA National Championships.
All right, fans, welcome back inside here in the Comerica Arena. Again, tonight at 11:30 Central Time, also on the YouTube page as well as achatonight.org. You can watch ACHA Tonight to recap the first day here from the ACHA National Tournament in Frisco, Texas. Me along with Matt Coma will be hosting the show tonight, so Matt Coma and I on the air again. ACHA Tonight, 11:30 p.m. Central Time.
3-2 the score here at Comerica Center, as we did have kind of an eventful second period, as we are just reaching the 7-minute mark left in the middle frame. A shot turned away by Giesbrecht that sounded like it got his stick. Now back trying to get to the puck is Raymond Rose. He's watched there by Rebel. Finally gets this one out. Well, it hit a Colonial player. And now with the puck is Zalata. The Colonials trying to get something going here. They almost had a goal. Fighting this one off was Giesbrecht. Now the puck goes into the corner, and corralling it there goes Eric Williams.
Kind of surprised he kind of slowed up there. I would have expected to go in with speed. Oh, here's a chance.
And we have a goal here from UNLV, and their lead is doubled.
And I believe it's Joe Kazupski who gets the goal on the back door, so that would be the hat trick for number 8. And Kazupski gives the first time we've seen a 2-goal lead in this hockey game, and it belongs to the Rebels.
And kind of coming off that opportunity that the Colonials had down at the other end. Quick rush there from UNLV. Creates the opportunity on the other end, and now we have a 4-2 lead for the Rebels coming out of the break. Of course, UNLV, the second-year Division I program, spent plenty of time in Division II.
Kazupski, assisted by number 22, Tristan Mayer, at 13:26. UNLV goal is third of the game, scored by Joe Kazupski, assisted by Mayer at 13:26.
Moeller with speed the other way. Kind of losing that puck in the slot area is Paxton Malone. And now Woodward had Malone in the slot, back up ahead, and getting the puck and walking this one out was Jeffrey Millen. Left here at the near side hash mark. Behind in the corner, I was looking for a couple of pair Rebels up there, finally out of the Rebel zone, and getting to the puck there was Moeller. Moeller for Woodward. Woodward was looking for Malone. And on the far side, hash marks. They'll go down, icing waved off here is getting to the puck is Plonsky. Plonsky now for Harrison. Gets this one up, and trying to get to it was Williams. Williams does a good job keeping this one in. But the pressure from the Colonials too much as this one gets guided out to center ice. And a good job getting this one in, and then promptly taking out 2 Colonials was Tommy Harrison. Williams angles this off the board where Harrison now has it. A shot, found a couple of Colonials, and this one misses the net all the way around. And going to get this is Nupp. All around the boards as this one just angled here to the near side corner. Up and finally out of the zone. We're playing this is Cody Williams. Looking for Cameron Fink. Now up ahead is Fink will just knock this one down and back this up to the blue line and out of the zone. The Rebels come the other way. Kazupski, who already has multiple goals tonight, And we're going to have a penalty here. It's going to be against UNLV as Plonsky will finally touch up.
Huge opportunity for Robert Morris here to get back within 1 goal at the power play chance. Just that knee-to-knee trip, I'm assuming it's going to be the call here. It's just a tough play.
So it's going to be a penalty at 4:20, well, with 4:23 left. Like the penalty come at 15, do some math here, 37. Not bad for a broadcaster, right?
Not bad.
It's a good Pac-12 education for you.
The University of Utah grads. UNLV, of course, a Mountain West school. Robert Morris. I guess their official conference would be the CMHA. But Robert Morris finding themselves on a very important power play, if not to cut the lead back down to 1, at least just have kind of a lot of put momentum back in your bench. They've kind of lost it this period.
Yeah, they had a couple of calls they felt didn't go their way, and of course the goals and then the replay video review not going their way. So it's a little bit hard to bring back that momentum and get that spark on the bench, just when you need, your guys to really start to believe in each other.
Pressure mounts now back up to the top for Raymundo. Raymundo will just send this one down. Was looking for Galarowski. Now back here near side as was that Hackmeister who scored a goal. Now for Hackmeister here. Down low. Back to Hackmeister. To the top for Raymundo. Raymundo looking for the shot. He does get an opportunity and just fires this one wide. Took a weird carom off the glass and ended up hitting Hackmeister, and he was able to just keep it in the neutralized area. Now Hackmeister, after the play by Giesbrecht, left and shot into Giesbrecht. Save there, and a couple of extracurricular activities after the whistle sounds.
Yeah, just a couple guys going hard to the net. A good initial block there by the UNLV defenseman, and then Giesbrecht just getting on that puck to get a stop.
Even though they've been some off-angle chances for RMU, Giesbrecht's had to make some key saves on this power play, and he's done a really good job in net. Again, he's getting a lot more shots. He's now up to 20. The shot's a little bit closer, but Giesbrecht getting a little bit more work in this second half of the second period.
Orr, who's been winning a lot of faceoffs for the Colonials, wins another one. Now Orr will just send this one deep. Had a couple players there, and finally out of the zone as this one gets sent 200 feet. And to the last 30 of this power play for the Colonials as we go. Or we'll just send this, kind of using the goalie as an extra. Well, was thinking about using him as an extra player, as Mackey makes. Well, I don't know. We'll call it a save. Officially, it doesn't go in as a save, but if he doesn't stop that, we're looking at a 3-goal game. Face-off win to UNLV. Back Harrison goes D to D. So this one sent in, and maybe a little Sidney Crosby going off the back of Mackey, looking for the Rebels.
Yeah, to kind of get a flexible there.
Giesbrecht turns this one aside as we go to the last 4, 3, 2, and 1 as the power play expires. Now down low, still at the end boards. The Colonials looking for a couple of players out in front. It wasn't there. Now Mayer with speed. Mayer is firing this. It got deflected up in the net, and we'll stop with 2:10 left in the middle frame.
And for RMU, they've just got to go back to the way they started the game. Keep it simple. Don't try to do too much. Even though UNLV has picked up their play and moved the puck really well and gotten this 2-goal lead, there's still plenty of hockey left to go. There's a whole entire third period ahead. So if they can get one back here late in this period or finish strong, I think RMU can still be in this hockey game.
Still very much in it, even though it's a 2-goal deficit. But, of course, a 1-goal deficit a lot easier to manage than 2. Puck now was looking laid out in front. Kind of seems like the Colonials are just scrambling in their own defensive zone.
That was something we didn't see earlier. RMU was very strong in their defensive zone, blocking shots and passes, and now it just seems like UNLV has been able to open up the Colonials' defense and move the puck really well.
And the puck just hanging out there over by the blue line as the scrum ensues. usually reserved for rugby, but we found one in a hockey game. Cameron Fink now circles around and kind of keeps skating back here as he lets his team reset. Blonsky had this one angled off a Colonial player. Looked like that was, I believe that was Galarowski who was the man there. Now where the puck goes, Zatola, excuse me. And Kazupski now with it. Plonsky being watched there in the form of Dylan Joyce. As we approach the final minute of period number 2. Being harassed was Hackmeister. Say Hackmeister was kind of getting hacked.
It's too easy, boss. Too easy.
I'll leave that one alone then. And a shot waffle boarded away by Giesbrecht. Zatola as Giesbrecht falls back and he looks hurt. Ooh. Like it took a headshot going back in the net. We're going to have a penalty as well. I'm probably guilty of it. The man in front of Mickey.
Yeah, Giesbrecht went back hard, slamming the back of his head. So hopefully that he's okay. And see if maybe he needs to have a trainer look at him or if he looks to be all right.
Yeah, Mickey was just going hard to the front of the net. I think he was battling out in front with, let me see if I can get the roster who it was. It was number 20, Thomas Harrison, out in front that he was battling with and then collided. But good to see Giesbrecht okay. But another power play for UNLV to try to get a little bit of a cushion here and possibly extend this to a 3-goal lead.
Potentially, yeah. A 2-minute power play. Unless in these last 39 seconds we end up having a goal scored by UNLV. Face off. Yeah, it does look like the face-off's going to be in the, I guess we're going to have, well, I guess we won't have a power play. We're going to have 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Mickey, 2 minutes for goaltender interference. UNLV penalty, number 29, Ben Giesbrecht. 2 minutes for embellishment. Time of the penalties, 19:21.
Wow. Well, we'll get an embellishment and a goalie interference. That's a call we actually see a lot more in the NHL, and a shot saved by Mackey. And this one fired up high and almost coming out. Now fired in and sticked away by Giesbrecht. The shot coming in from Raymond Rose with 5.5 left in period number 2.
Yeah, Giesbrecht having a talk with our head referee of why he was called for the embellishment. It looked solid acting job to me, so maybe nominate him for next year's Academy Awards. I thought that he was pretty clearly interfered with, but maybe the refs thought the flailing was a little bit too much.
The flailing. And the last 2-1 we go in period number 2, and that'll find UNLV coming up with a 2-goal lead after the second stanza of 20 minutes. Kind of an eventful second period, though. Thoughts on it, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great answer to your first period for UNLV to come out with a 2-goal lead with just 20 minutes to play and really just dominating for a good portion of that period. I mean, RMU looks all kinds out of sorts right now and are desperate to find a hero to bring them back into this game.
Yeah, and you look at Joe Kazupski, number 8 for UNLV. He gets the hat trick in this period, and then John Moeller with a goal. But after giving up a shorthanded goal, UNLV settled in nicely, extended the lead. They'll try to close this hockey game out, look for a rematch with Ohio. But for RMU, they've just got to get back to the simplicity of the game, the way they started, possibly get a goal here early in the third period to try to get back in this game and get a little momentum on their side.
40 minutes of hockey done, 20 minutes left. We'll have to take a short break before we get to that final 20 minutes. Hope to see you back on the ACHA Championship Network. After 2 frames, UNLV up 4-2.
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be?
Hello? Hi.
Surely that can't be practical.
She loves to see you.
But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest. Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways and in grand ones.
Dad.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
Come on! You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy! Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate! Skate! Pass it! You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck! Come on!
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like even more than birthday cake.
There are a few things that come along that change the course of history. Inventions or developments that reshape society. They usually aren't appreciated at first. In fact, they're often scoffed at. What good will that be?
Hello? Hi.
Surely that can't be practical.
She loves to see you.
But then, slowly, over time, the greatness of these achievements become manifest. Until one day, you ask yourself how you ever lived without them. That's the nature of turning points. They bring us to new roads and new heights. They open doors we never thought possible. So it's important that we go forward together.
I'm here with Gina.
That our growth might not just benefit the great, but the good also. In small ways and in grand ones.
Dad.
The test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much. It is whether we provide enough for those who have too little.
At Wilson Electronics, we push every day to amplify the power of communication, to connect those who love and those who cannot live without it.
And welcome back to Frisco, Texas, the start of period 3 here at the ACHA National Championships. Thank you for joining us on the ACHA Network. Boz Echevarria alongside Ryan Jones and Sam Fleming. And through 40 minutes of hockey, we've kind of seen two kind of storylines between two periods. Jonesy, I mean, for the first part, we've seen UNLV just a woefully slow start, and they've just woke up in the second period.
Yeah, I think UNLV was still getting the sleep out of their eyes when they rolled up to the rink this morning, and now we've really seen that team that we were kind of expecting. The physicalities have been there, but mostly the goal scorers have come out in force today for the Rebels. And if you are RMU right now looking for a little of that comeback magic that they've seen from their postseason so far, but right now, second period was all UNLV, and to be honest, I think it's going to be much of the same here. RMU's fighting an uphill battle.
Sam, RMU, they came out super hot, got a couple of goals. They even came out hot in the second period, getting a shorty. But since then, it's just been all UNLV. What does RMU Penn need to do to kind of get back into this game?
I think they've got to go back to the simplistic style that they started the game and just move the puck the way they did, and also close off the passing and shooting lanes from UNLV. And I think if RMU gets back to a simple game, don't try to do too much. They might have a chance to get a goal here early. I think that's the key. Get the first goal of this period. Try to cut that deficit to 1.
Stat-wise, we're UNLV being consistent in the shot total. They've recorded another 14 shots in period 2. Remains at a total of 28, 2-period total. RMU, their shot total increased exponentially as they went from 5 in the first period, 19 in the second. They have a shot total of 24. The differential of 4 for UNLV in total, as there's a very healthy collision applied there by the Rebel and Eric Williams, or unhealthy depending on your point of view. As Kazupski, who already has a hat trick, he's going to give this one a chase over at the top of the circle on the far side boards. Circles around, just gets this one deep where Cody Williams will play it. Now back for Kazupski, who's kind of feeling it right now.
Yeah, I think everybody on the UNLV team is going to mimic what he had for breakfast this morning. He hopped right out of the bed, and he's having himself a heck of a morning.
1 goal in the first period, 2 in the second. We'll include his 3, as now with Colonials will start from behind their own red line. D to D we go as both teams got a change. Up ahead for Roebuck. Roebuck puts on the brakes, and he's trying to fight through a Rebel there. Up ahead for the blue line now. Guided up for DeAndre John, who couldn't hang on to it. And now just dumped in deep by Mumau. UNLV will start behind their own net. And now back it goes. Trying to break this one out. Does find DeAndre John, who couldn't put the handle on it. And back the other way we go as the puck will hop over the stick of Mumau. Turned over here, walking in. And good defense there from the Colonials. Keep this a 2-goal game. Now below the net. And just a turnover here is a giveaway over for Hackmeister. Mickey canceled out by Fink. Now giving chase goes Moeller. Moeller rubbed out by Hackmeister. Up to the point here for Fink. Fink lays this slightly up ahead for Moeller, who now walks in, leaves it. Looking for a give and go here, and a save that kind of caught Mackey by surprise.
Yeah, Mackey with a good stop there. The RMU really needed it. They kind of had a slow, lazy breakout, kind of turned into a turnover and a chance there. So a good stoppage of play, well needed.
And Kevin Mackey has done an incredible job just keeping this deficit at 2. It could be a lot larger of a lead for UNLV if it wasn't for number 30 between the pipes for the Colonials.
Shot here blocked down by the defender in Millen. Skied up, and this is going to cross a whole sheet of ice as coming to play the puck is Ralston. Ralston gets it out of the zone, and icing waved off as it almost travels a full 200 feet of ice. Angled off the boards and crown. The puck is Malone. Malone with speed, and shot well wide of the net. Trying to find someone in the slot. Was looking for Woodward as this one was sticked away by a couple Colonial defenders. Now hopped up and over, and giving chase there is Connor Hetzel. Far side corner, now looking near side for Woodward, and almost intercepting the puck there was Nathan Mickey. Up and around. Krupski. And just gets this one out of the zone and going to play this as he was going to try to cut off was Basil Asaf. Asaf now up by the blue line for a teammate here in Brask. Blowing a tire there was Safalos. And near side hash marks coming in chase and cutting down the angle there was Asaf. This one hopped over the stick of Turiyumi. And this one now just deep. Hanging out, Brass just in the way of the puck and got it down, but there's a sandwich collision there. RMU was looking for a penalty, didn't get one.
Yeah, kind of a tough call there. It wasn't really a part of the play, and RMU coach is absolutely livid right now with the referee.
I think the refs so far, they've let these players play through a lot of potential calls. I think one of the things, too, if you're a player, I mean, Jonesy, you've been through there. You kind of just you want to duke it out with the other team and try to minimize the officials' impact.
Yeah, I think you noticed when the games are playoff games, the intensity goes up, and the refs tend to let these guys get away with a little bit more than they would typically do in the regular season. And I think that's a good thing because you kind of come to expect that in the playoff atmosphere. You certainly see it in the NHL, in the NCAA, and here in the ACHA. It's a high level of hockey, and that intensity is expected.
Yeah, it looks like, we're going to have a penalty here to Kazupski. That was called ill-advised.
I was just going to say, you can't do that, though. They'll let you get away with a lot. That was pretty blatant.
And as soon as we talk about penalties and refs letting that one go, that was pretty blatant as Kazupski will enter the box.
That was on cue there, Jonesy.
Yeah.
4:51 gone in period number 3 as RMU will get back on, I think, what will probably be an even more important power play. As, without saying, they're down 2 goals and are kind of hurting for one right now.
And when you look at RMU, the start of the game, they were moving the puck so well, getting crisp passes. Now they just really haven't been able to possess the puck at all. Let's see if they can do something with this power play and try to trim that deficit to 1.
Zatola, he had the puck, and at the far side hash mark. Now walking to the top of the circle, they score!
That was quick.
It sure was. Wasted no time there as on point with 15 left in the third. It's a 1-goal game.
And that was a good shot and a good quick face-off win to get the puck on the net, and not much time into that power play. RMU cuts the deficit to 1. That's key for them to have some energy in this game.
And speaking a little bit more seriously about the penalty, I mean, Kazupski's had himself a great day, but when you take a bad penalty call that's a little bit unnecessary, now RMU, look at their bench. You got the guys standing up. They're back in it. Their fans that have traveled here, friends and family, are in it. So look for an energized 15 minutes here out of RMU to try to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Lawson with speed. He has to get by a defender in Raymundo.
By number 23, Andrew Hochmeister. Unassisted at the 5-minute mark. Robert Morris' power play goal, his second of the game, scored by Hochmeister. Unassisted at the 5-minute mark.
Well, multiple goal games for 2 players, Hochmeister and Kazupski, as the net gets dislodged. An RMU player crashed under the net. Unfortunately, that doesn't net you any points.
And again, Hackmeister, one of the guys we highlighted at the beginning of the show, who had the game-winning goal to send RMU to the national tournament. 2 big goals for him, gets his team back in this game. They have a little bit more energy, a good rush from him there once again. So RMU may be feeling it a little bit with 14:21 to go here in the third period.
Hey, when sometimes a player's hot. And, I mean, you guys both been on teams where sometimes you just ride that train for a while, right?
Yeah, put the team on your back.
And as a defenseman, he's the 3rd leading scorer on the team. That's his 19th goal of the year for number 23 for the Colonials.
This one's sent all the way down now. Going to corral this puck is going to be Jason DeFelice. This one's sticked away and just outside the reach of Jeffrey Millen. Millen harassing the soft for a little bit, and going back is Hackmeister. Hackmeister behind his own net. Watched there by Tristan Mayer. Putting on the brakes and just taking a forearm shiver applied by Tristan Mayer. Now Kazupski for Mayer. Mayer had this one hop up. He gloves this one back down, but not before it was knifed off the stick by Hackmeister. Hackmeister takes a couple of hacks from a couple of UNLV players, as both teams will get a change. 13:28 here in the final frame, or it could be not the final frame if RMU ends up getting a game-tying goal. Stick handling there. Cody Williams couldn't get that puck, and this one finally out of the zone and sent all the way down. Could go for icing and does.
Yeah, tough play there. You're just trying to get the puck deep, and now that line gets to stay out there against a UNLV fresh-legged line.
And we talk about that top line that Kazupski's been on, but you look at the second line with Muller, Malone, and Woodward. They've had a good game as well. Muller has the only other goal, but they've done a good job on the forecheck lately in the at the start of the second period. But this line has done a good job for UNLV as well.
This one squeaks out of the zone as Muller will come back and take the puck. Get this for Woodward. Actually just angled it off the board right back to himself. Woodward was in the air, however. This one kept in by Fink. He tried to send this one deep, and it took a couple of caroms off a couple of players. Weird hops. As the ice does get chewed up, probably you will see a little bit more of those as play continues. This one up ahead, a really sloppy turnover there from UNLV. And a shot that gets waffle boarded away by Giesbrecht. Now back to the top there, where Raymundo fires this one in. Still out in front. And a scrum ensues, finally back out. This gets cleaned up, and a shot fired in. And it's on the near side corner. Kept in by Zatola. Fink pinning a player down low. Now back to the top, fired and Fannin on it. And UNLV having trouble getting this one out. Now finally does. Woodward the player. Woodward enters the zone. Woodward up ahead. And a good defensive play there applied by Gierlowski. Sent up ahead and just gloved down by Mackey as he's kind of seen enough in his own zone with 11:44 left in period number 3. Still plenty of time for RMU to find that game-tying goal.
Yeah, they've come out looking really good this period, so I think that there's a lot of fight in this team. They fought through their divisional rounds to make it to nationals, and I think that they want to hang around for a couple more days.
Long trip for both teams to get to Frisco, Texas. And walking in is Connor Hetzel. Looking down low for Robin. Robin still with the puck, far side corner. Watch here by a couple of UNLV players. This one sticked right back to him as he's pinned against the board. Now going behind the net. Supporting his teammates there was Hackmeyer. Up to the point, and this one just sent right back in by Woodward, just trying to keep this one in deep. Into the near side corner. Got it up ahead, and a check applied there by Woodward. Puck still in the RMU zone. Circling back goes Hackmeyer. Hackmeyer will just guide this one right back, and picking it up is Roebuck.
Great shift by UNLV here back-to-back, just keeping pucks deep and not allowing RMU until now to get into the offensive zone.
Mumau enters the zone. Mumau with a shot that was into the skates of Basil Asaf. Now entering the zone goes Lawson. Lawson lost this one fired up, and Asaf will just have to back skate out, wait for his teammates to tag up. Losing the handle on it, and going back is Eric Williams up ahead at center ice and putting the brakes on again. I'm sure if you're UNLV right now, if you could just possess the puck, I'm sure you're fine with that with just over 10 minutes left to go. And offside go the Colonials.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Boz. Getting pucks deep, just pinning them up against the wall, and just eating as much time as you can. Just kind of not allowing RMU to set up something in the offensive zone or get an offensive zone draw.
But if you're UNLV, you cannot make any mistakes and allow RMU to get a good chance the other way. Odd man rushes, you got to cut those back. So just get pucks deep, like Jonesy was saying, and don't allow RMU to set anything up.
Cameron Fink will go back and play this puck at his own end boards and just leave it for Plonsky. Now Plonsky comes here near side for Mayer. Mayer into the zone. Mayer looking for Plonsky. His stick was tied. Now goes Williams. Far side hash mark as Mayer gets tied up. No one out in front in the slot area, and this one's skied up and out of the zone by Krupski. There was a Colonial player in the form of Krupski, and he couldn't, or excuse me, that wasn't Krupski. I got numbers mixed up, but we are not going to have our immediate timeout. It was icing.
Yeah, those media timeouts at this point in the game for RMU can be huge. Typically don't see that a whole lot during the regular season, but essentially getting another timeout when you're not used to having it can be huge to set up this second half of the period for them.
And UNLV goes into neutral ice. And offsides, and I don't think that one was close. As entering the zone early was Cameron Fink. And we will finally have our timeout with 9:17 left in period number 3. You're watching the UNLV Rebels and the RMU Colonials on the ACHA Tournament Network.
The 2019 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Budget Car Rental, the preferred rental agency of the ACHA. Hogan Transportation, official tournament partners of the 2019 ACHA National Championships. Edge Protect, protecting goalie skate blades since 2004 and official sponsor of the 2019 ACHA National Championships.
And Sam, we were able to hear a little bit of what RMU coach was saying.
Yeah, Michael Joseph just trying to get his team going here. They're down by a goal with 9:14 to go in this period, trying to get some energy in the team. Get something going is what he was telling the guys. And RMU trying to get something started here with a good opportunity early.
That shot got deflected wide. It'll come back here near side. Is playing it. Go to the Rebel, just trying to sky this out of the zone and gloving it down. Goes John Moeller back into the zone and stick the other way. Woodward puts on the brakes, and he gets tripped up a little bit by potentially errant stick. But again, refs, so far we've seen a lot let go and not enough to warrant a call as 8:44 left in period number 3. And we thank you for joining us on the ACHA Network for the UNLV Rebels versus the Robert Morris University, Pennsylvania Colonials. 4-3 the score. We did see a goal from Robert Morris to open up the period, and so far that's where we stand. A D-to-D pass. As again, if you're UNLV, kind of okay just getting this one deep and playing a puck possession game. Kind of just picking your opportunity to attack right now.
Yeah, but that's exactly what you don't want to have happen. When you get an icing, you guys stay out there with tired legs and a big offensive zone face-off for Robert Morris. We've already seen a goal right off the draw for them. So, see if they got anything drawn up here.
Win will get credited to RMU. As now here near side board was DeFelice. Just sending this one in deep as no icing as it was over the red line. Johnson sent that one deep. Giesbrecht.
Looks like the net's off just a hair.
Doesn't happen when goalie's playing the butterfly a lot.
Yeah. And again, what you were talking about, Jonesy, you can't make any mistakes here. Simple turnovers at the blue line. You got to hold the possession in the zone as well. Get pucks deep, because one turnover, one bad play could lead to a rush for RMU, as I was saying earlier. And this game could be tied. Still a lot of time with 8:10 to go for RMU to make something happen.
Getting the puck after the win was Williams, and he'll just angle this one off the board out of the zone. Now with the puck, Rose. Rose will get this one deep. Giesbrecht gloves it down, and left it right near his post. Probably not the best place to leave a puck, and this one just returned right back and waffle boarded away by Giesbrecht. Finally up and trying to knife this away. Kind of in the party there, and a shot saved by Mackey. Kazupski takes a couple of whacks. As Mayer now with it. Mayer still out in front, of backhand maybe looking, and a couple of saves here as the whole line for the Colonials should probably get credit for that.
Yeah, great job by Mackey there, stopping the initial saves, getting the support from everybody else, and I believe that's a save that you're going to see on the highlight show later tonight.
One game, ton of highlights. Can't wait to see what we have in store on deck. Still 3 games left.
Yeah, great opening game for the tournament here. We got a lot of shots, a lot of scoring, and 2 teams that are highly passionate, and 1 team in RMU right now that's just not backing down.
You talked about a great tournament. How about that next matchup after us? Missouri State versus Buffalo should be an exciting game. Look forward to that one on the ACHA network.
Taking a couple of shivers and then giving it was Dylan Joyce. He didn't like what was going on, and back in his own net goes Galarowski. Up ahead, and this one will go for icing. RMU's bench not happy with it. Couple of groans, couple of come-ons.
I will say, though, that's the first time I have seen Michael Joseph smile behind the bench while laughing. So.
Yeah, he's been loud all night. You know when you can hear him from across the ice in the booth with noise-canceling headphones. This one loud dude.
Raymundo with the puck. He skies it out. RMU just looking to get this one deep and hopefully get their own cycle going. So far, it's a defensive cycle as it went D to D, and now getting to the puck. Their far side was Victor Brask. A shot and had to fight through traffic there was Mackey. This one angled finally out of the zone, and Cameron Fink had to take a knee as he gloved it down. Now Kazupski will probably take this right in front of his bench. Does, and just angles this off the board as he peels off. And there Cody Williams applies a check, watched by 2 Colonials. And now this one finally gets out of the UNLV zone, and it looks like Kazupski's hurt.
He tried throwing a hit there, and then afterwards he kind of extended his arm and then immediately grabbed his elbow. Hopefully he's okay because he's had himself a heck of a game so far.
And now into the zone, Raymundo. He didn't get it very deep as it comes back the other way. And this one is touched up, so it does cancel out icing. But that was Zach Lawson who guided this one in. Into the front of the net, and a dangerous area for a turnover there as Lawson was in the area for the Rebels. Activating from the point is Harrison, and he just gets this one deep with 5:46 left here in this period. Gets stood up there. It looked like DeAndre John applied that. Now down low. And looking for that backhand attempt. This one squeaks out. And a shot that deflected, and
that got all the way through to the goaltender.
Yeah, it got to Giesbrecht.
Let's see what the call is here.
Looks like the net came off its moorings again.
Okay.
One thing I've noticed, guys, is in the first and second period, it was one team that was playing the physical game. Now, this third period, both teams have been throwing the body around. It's gotten a little bit chippy as the period goes on. A lot of emotions in this game from RMU, especially down by a goal. UNLV trying to preserve this lead. But it's getting intense to that national tournament level here in this first game.
I don't know what we see it this tournament. Yeah, physicality usually takes its toll. Of course, no easy road if you play on the play-in days because you have to turn around and play right again tomorrow. Ohio waiting for you, the Ohio Bobcats. Now all the way around, Harrison just sends this. I was looking for his line mate, Moeller. Moeller lost it. Now Moeller has it again as he gets rubbed into. And offering some support there was Malone. UNLV having trouble just getting this one out. Now Orr from the point shot and a bouncing puck that Giesbrecht did a good job of corralling and stopping.
Yeah, great save there with the glove, just tracking that puck and and getting the save and the stop so his guys can get a change.
Gonna look like Derek Jeter flashing that leather.
Yeah.
And Giesbrecht faced 30 shots, stopped 27 of them. He's made some key saves. Again, that goal line stop that was on video review, he's made some big saves on the off-angle shots as well. Giesbrecht keeping UNLV with this 1-goal lead.
Asaf will wrap this around the boards and glove down there rather nicely by Raymundo. Asaf now on that far side over by his hash marks, sends this one up but not out of the zone as Moeller was there, but the turnover here where Raymundo tries to get this one. Now back to Raymundo. His line's off as he just sends this as this is blocked away by Giesbrecht. UNLV will have this and just chip this one in and give him chase. Gonna be calling Robin. Robin rubbed it in the corner there by Galarowski.
Got to get that puck moving out of there if you're RMU. So precious seconds getting wasted off the clock.
Under 4 minutes here in period number 3 is RMU just having trouble to maintain a whole lot of pressure in the UNLV zone. Finally guided up for Johnson. Johnson was stopped at the blue line and a turnover here. It's like RMU was on a change of backhand attempt that sailed wide. Guided by Mayer. Now back out in front on a bit of a change. It doesn't look like it rolled off the stick of that UNLV player.
That shot came from Joe Kazupski. Good to see him back out there after he took a little bit of a knock to that elbow shoulder area we seen, but a big thing for UNLV to have him back on the ice. Again, a hat trick for him in this game.
Yeah, and looks good enough to try the clap bomb attempt from the slot. Doesn't look like he got all of it on it, but definitely good to see a player of his caliber back, because he's going to be key if UNLV advances on to tomorrow against Ohio.
Face-off win goes to the Colonials, and just wrapping this one around. Krupski up at the boards and finally out. Now with some speed trying to get to his Mumau. Mumau got there about the same time as a UNLV player. This one just sent right back to the blue line. Getting to the puck, there's Hackmeister. Hackmeister goes D to D. And up and through the legs of a couple of players, and this one now finally sent in. Woodward stick handles by, backhand shot. That rolled off the goaltender and Mackey. And the Colonials in the form of Hackmeister will get this one. And with under 3 minutes left to play. So keep the eye on the goaltender here. Make sure that when Mackey gets pulled, you guys know, and this one hopped over the stick of Nicholas Mumau, and he'll have to go back all the way to his own red line. Up and a nice glove by Ralston. Up by the top of the circle. Back below the red line. Play goes. Finally up and into center ice. Guided up ahead. Now giving chase. Here's John. Orr. Shot from the point. Blockered away by Mackey as we enter under 2 minutes. RMU just struggling to get some offensive pressure going. And finally out of the zone, and this one's just lifted up by Raymundo. 1:42 left in this last period. If the score stands, shots 35-30 in favor of UNLV.
Yeah, don't be surprised right here if the Colonials can set up in the offensive zone, and they're going to pull Mackey, but first they will take a timeout.
So I guess the ever-minting question of what's going on the bench right now, especially if you're RMU.
If you're RMU, you've got to throw it all but the kitchen sink at the net. Try to get pucks to the front of the net, get a lot of traffic in front of Ben Giesbrecht. When he's been screened, he's had a little trouble dealing with the puck, but they haven't had many chances to get in front of him. If you're UNLV, you just got to get the puck out of the zone. Try to get it on the net, but just get it deep. If you have to ice it, maybe use your timeout eventually, but just get the puck out of the zone. Try to maintain this lead with 1:42 to go.
Yeah, and it looks like Coach over there, he's not really drawing anything up. He's maybe just telling them that you guys been in this situation before. They've played as underdogs, and they have a good chance here. What I want to do is I'm putting on my best centerman on the ice because faceoffs are so key in these situations. For RMU, it's to set up in that offensive zone and just try to pound some shots in. And for UNLV, it's about getting that puck across the red line, getting it deep.
Do you also have your second best centerman off just in case you do end up having a false start? Or
You certainly could. I think, Coach knows his personnel. He's going to go whatever he's comfortable with, but I certainly see that as an option.
Face-off won by UNLV, so Mackey will have to stay in his own net. Now backhanded out of the zone with Hackmeister. And you can see the play kind of getting a little physical, getting a little rough, especially in the last 90 seconds we go. Hackmeister will have to go back. He circles behind his own net and just throw this all the way around. But waiting for it at the red line is Cameron Fink. Will just get this one deep again. Hackmeister has to go back and play it as we enter the last 80 seconds.
Great job here by the UNLV forecheck, just not allowing these guys to get past the red line.
Kazupski there applying pressure. Joyce now with the puck. 65 seconds we go, and this one laid for Hackmeister. Cross-ice pass up ahead as squeaking out is Mackey. He can't really come out as the puck is just sent back in. He's still in the net as he's yelling at his player to hurry up. Mackey still in his net as we enter the last 45. RMU just can't get into the UNLV zone right now. They finally do.
He's got to go now. Yeah,
Fink has it. He gets canceled out. And there's a collision there as finally out of the net. We have an empty net the other way. As soon as that happens, UNLV ends up the puck. They tried to ice it down. Didn't happen. RMU offside. They're still offside. And I think we do have icing here. So Mackey's going to be back in the net as there's 25.7 seconds left in this period.
And that's exactly what UNLV needed to do. Not allow RMU to set up anything in the offensive zone, keep pressuring them in their offensive zone. They didn't give them much to pass around the neutral zone as well. Good pressure from UNLV with 25.7. They just got to continue that energy, continue to pressure the Colonials here to see out this game.
Now we got a water bottle here. Maybe some gamesmanship over by RMU. I know one of their players was taking some water as he skated back to the bench, but also chucked it. Didn't really make the bench, so the water bottle was chilling there. Ref caught it. Face-off one. Asaf sends this one deep. Glove down. And finding out of the zone, and maybe a 2-on-1 as Zalota was there. Shot wide of the net here in the last 10. Or with the puck, sends it deep, no one there. Giving chases Hackmeister to the last 5. Into the corner, and we're going to have a penalty here with 2.2 seconds left. We'll see how this gets sorted out.
It's going to go against RMU for a cross check, which is very unfortunate. What a great rush to end the game there to see if they still had the heroics in them. It's a couple of good scoring chances, but I think that this one's going to do it.
2.2 seconds left. Looks like that is Hackmeister who's going to be the guilty party. And the face-off will come all the way down the other zone. So not official yet, but very rarely do we see a goal come from the other end of the ice with 2.2 seconds left. I stick in the call as the Rebels will go on the power play, and they do win the faceoff, and that will do it for this game. So game number 1, we'll see the 13th seeded UNLV Rebels advance with a win over the Robert Morris University out of Pennsylvania Colonials by a score of 4-3, and they will take on Ohio tomorrow in a rematch of probably was one of the more exciting games we saw in the tournament last year. But if you're Robert Morris, a heck of a season even just to get here winning your own conference.
Yeah, I think Robert Morris should hold their heads high today. They played a great game. They took a great team in UNLV to the wire. You know, you wish they could have gotten something going down there, but if you're UNLV, it's not about how you start, it's how you finish, and they finished strong today. They really just kind of put the chokehold, and unfortunately, Robert Morris is going to be going home. UNLV will need to start stronger if they want a chance against Ohio.
Yeah, and for RMU, a great season. Again, the last team to make this tournament. They fought hard. They took it to the wire, like Jonesy said, and played really good in that first period. Didn't have the best second period, but tried to finish strong in the third period. And for UNLV, a rematch with Ohio to try to go farther in the national tournament. I think that's going to be an exciting game. But what a day for Joe Kazupski with that hat trick for UNLV. He was the difference maker. Once he got that first goal, that line of him, Cody Williams, and number 22, Tristan Mayer, really had a good day. And again, Kazupski with the hat trick, the difference for UNLV.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining the broadcast here for game number 1. I invite you to stay tuned or come back. A 1:30 face-off where Missouri State will take on Buffalo. Should be another exciting game there for Ryan Jones, Sam Fleming, and everyone here at ACHA. This is Boz Echevarria wishing everyone to have a good night.
Come on. You know the answer. You studied for this. Come on. Timmy. Come on, Timmy. You got this, son. Pencil to paper. Focus. Come on, Timmy. Focus. Focus. Take the puck. There you go. Skate. Skate. Pass it. You call that a pass? What are you doing? You missed the puck. Come on.
Skating was hard at first. Sometimes I fell, but I always got back up. Now when I'm skating, I feel like a rocket, or maybe a race car. Something really fast. It's my second favorite feeling. Scoring is my favorite. I think I like it even more than birthday cake.
Rebels take chances and inspire action. Rebels are daring and diverse, curious and creative. Rebels are different, and in our differences, we come together to discover, to innovate, to succeed in a community like no other. We are UNLV. We are Rebels, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.